You budgeted 5 million for construction, but 6 months in, you've spent an extra million pesos your contractor never even touched. What happened? I'm Vic, and after more than 3 decades building homes across the Philippines, I'm breaking down the 9 categories of hidden non-construction costs that can add 5 to 20% to your total project budget. Before you even break ground, surveys and site due diligence come into play. You need boundary surveys, actual land markers, signed and sealed lot plans, topographic surveys for terrain issues, and soil investigation for retaining walls, pools, weak soil, or complex foundations. This is a non-negotiable step. You cannot skip it if you want to get your permits and ensure a safe structural design. Don't try to cut costs here, as this is absolutely critical. These documents are required for your plans and permits. You need site constraint checks that verify easements, drainage paths, track access, and utility locations. I've seen too many projects face serious structural problems and costly delays because builders try to skip or chip out on this essential step. Most people think that plans or drawings are cheap and easy to make, so they don't even bother budgeting for this part. But this is easily the most important expense when building a house. Complete plans go through licensed architects and multiple engineers, and these professional fees add up quickly. Your architect provides the basic drawings, but you'll also need specialist consultants. Things like electrical systems, plumbing coordination, sound control, lighting design, and fire safety documentation all cost extra. From my experience, clients are often caught off guard by additional fees. Things like 3D images, virtual walkthroughs, travel costs for distant site visits, revisions to the contract, and printing extra document sets for permits. Now, we get permits. After 3 decades in this business, I can tell you this is where costs pile up fast. You'll need multiple permits: building, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, electronics, fencing, excavation, and demolition. Each one comes with its own fees, plus printing, stamping, and notarization costs. But here's what surprises most people: construction bonds and deposits. Your homeowners association may require them. Your local government unit will charge bonds if your work affects public areas. Gated communities add their own fees for gate passes, worker IDs, and logistics coordination. And then there's the reality nobody talks about: corrupt LGU officials who slow walk your permits unless they get paid under the table. They'll come up with excuses: missing signatures, unclear stamps, processing delays, even after a month of waiting. Eventually, most people give in and pay the bribe just to move forward. It's frustrating, unethical, and unfortunately common. Budget extra time and money for this reality, or be prepared for major delays that cost you even more in the long run. We had a project in Rizal where we submitted complete perfect documents and the permit sat untouched for 2 months, not because anything was wrong, but because it just wasn't being processed. We called repeatedly and got nothing but check back next week until we finally filed a formal complaint. Only then did the permit magically appear within days, costing our client 2 months of delay for absolutely no reason. The Bureau of Fire Protection requires fire safety clearances before you can get your building permit. You cannot skip this step. You'll need a fire safety evaluation clearance, which comes with fees, inspections, and required equipment like smoke detectors and fire extinguishers. These requirements vary by city and project type, so check with your local BFP office early to avoid surprises and delays. Now let's talk about utility connections: power, water, and the internet. Your contractor needs electricity and water on site before construction even starts, so this isn't optional. Electricity requires connection deposits and service application fees. Water has its own security deposits and provider charges. If you're building outside an established subdivision without many neighbors to expect massive costs, the utility company will charge you to extend infrastructure specifically to your area, sometimes hundreds of thousands of pesos. Internet and phone lines also have application fees. And if your contractor didn't install conduit pipes and wiring pathways inside your walls during construction, you'll pay extra later to have this added or run externally along your walls. If you're financing your build with a loan, expect significant bank fees before construction even begins. You'll pay processing fees, handling charges, appraisal costs, notary fees, documentary stamp tax, and mandatory insurance premiums, all separate from your actual construction budget. These fees easily add up to hundreds of thousands of pesos, and most banks won't release funds without an approved building permit. Once your house is built, you need proper documentation before you can legally move in. This includes as-built drawings, testing reports, warranties, certifications, and other records. Without this, you won't get your occupancy permit. And I've seen families stuck in temporary housing because they skipped this step. You also typically need an occupancy permit to get permanent power connected. Your house is structurally complete, but furniture and appliances make it livable. Loose furniture, major appliances like refrigerators and washers, window treatments, and smart devices like CCTV and smart locks are increasingly common. Add delivery and installation fees plus accessories and organizers. From what I've seen, this category alone can equal 10 to 15% of your construction costs and is almost never included in contractor quotations. Finally, insurances. The category people forget entirely, but after decades in this industry, I can't stress how critical this is. During construction, you need contractors' all-risk insurance, liability coverage for accidents, and workers' coverage. For bank financing, fire insurance, and mortgage protection. And after turnover, home insurance with optional add-ons like contents, insurance, and flood or typhoon riders. Don't skip insurance thinking you'll save money. One major incident without coverage can cost more than your entire project budget. Either this is included with your contractor's scope or you're going to get the insurance yourself. Either way, you need to have a budget for it. If your construction contract is around 9 million pesos, these fees and permits can easily add another 450,000 to 1.8 million pesos on top. That's 5 to 20% extra that most homeowners never budget for because no one warns them upfront. Here's the thing, everything is interconnected. You can skip even one of these costs. Each requirement depends on the others. No? Fire safety clearance means no building permit. No building permit means no loan release. No utilities means no construction. Everything is a must-have when you're constructing a house in the Philippines. Check out my previous video on construction price ranges to see exactly how these hidden costs impact your total budget and what you should actually be setting aside.